Bad Bunny is giving us a sneak peek into his highly anticipated and hotly debated Super Bowl halftime performance. Take a listen.
I want to bring to the stage, of course, a lot of my culture. It's gonna be fun and it's gonna be easy, and people only have to worry about dance. I know that I told them that they had 4 months to learn Spanish. They don't even have to learn Spanish. They just it's better if they learn to dance.
Debe hacer más fotos.
Okay.
The Super Bowl show is coming just days after the Puerto Rican singer made history with his Album of the Year win at the Grammys.
So he's basically saying that the people that are complaining about him most likely being kind of brought into the Super Bowl shouldn't worry about specifically learning Spanish. They should just learn how to dance. That's a wild dig, guys.
And as he continues his wildly successful global tour, selling out stadiums in Latin America, Europe, and Australia. In the words of Benito himself, he is not at his peak, he is now in his prime. Rolling Stone deputy music editor Julissa Lopez is joining us now. Thank you so much for being here. Besides a huge party and the dancing that he says, look, you don't have to learn Spanish, you just have to be able to move your hips. I mean, that's all you need to be able to do. What else can we expect to see on his halftime show?
I think this is going to be such a fun Super Bowl performance. I think it's going to be one that is watched by so many people. Everybody wants to see what Benito's going to do.
I'm going to be honest. I don't care. I'm just going to be completely honest here. I have to say this again. I want to reiterate this here. I've never watched a single Super Bowl. I've never actually sat through the entirety of any type of sporting event. I truthfully don't care, but I get it. I mean, listen, utilize him to kind of bring in people to the sport, potentially if they're not there, while being able to sell your Super Bowl ads. That's it.
So by now, his one of his albums is called Yo hago lo que me da la gana. That means I do what I want. And so I think this is going to be a really, really big one. With a lot of dancing, as he said, but also a message of unity that he's been talking about, you know, and we heard him say that at the Grammys. He said it again at this press conference that he did. But I think a lot of people are going to be watching.
Just tell us how huge his Grammy win was, because this music is largely in Spanish, and yet here we are all speaking Spanish, at least when we're singing the music.
Yeah, I mean, this Grammy win was historic. It's the first album ever entirely in Spanish to win a Grammy. Before that, there was only one other album nominated even, and that was his album, Un Verano Sin Ti, the year before. And so Bad Bunny just keeps breaking record after record. He keeps making history. He has been the most streamed artist on Spotify 4 years now, in 2020, 2021, 2022, and last year. And it just seems like he can't find a ceiling. So it makes a lot of sense that he would be performing at one of the biggest stages in music.
What
That's
is it
fair.
about him? Because
I mean, like, listen, like looking at his overall achievements here, yeah, I mean, guys, congratulations, bro. You are absolutely crushing the game right here, guys. There are a gigantic amount of Spanish speakers. All right. And I mean, absolutely gigantic. You have basically Mexico and down, right, to completely dominate, including like Spain and the other countries that specifically love listening to kind of, or being in the proximity at least of reggaeton in general, right? So yeah, I can imagine that this is a purely like business strategic thing here. You're going to bring in a good amount of people to see the ads that are basically going to be shown on, the Super Bowl.
what's interesting now that he's performing at the Super Bowl is that you have this chasm, this almost political chasm, with some people like, who is this guy? And we're all like, you don't know who Bad Bunny is? There is this chasm, but what is it about him that has sparked such fandom? I mean, I gotta be honest, I tried to get tickets to one of his performances in LA. 3 seconds, it was sold out. I mean, you
might have had
couldn't
trouble,
get tickets.
yes. Yeah. I mean, I think people are, first of all, his sound is so unique. Bad Bunny has that signature baritone. You know a Bad Bunny song when you hear it. And then I think he's also just been able to connect with his fans on so many different levels, you know?
Yeah, it's more so his production,
music,
though.
He has upbeat music that you want to dance to, which is going to make the Super Bowl really fun. He has also music that touches on social and political issues. He's been really outspoken about Puerto Rico, and his last album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, is a love letter to where he comes from. And so I think there's an authenticity and a sense of genuineness that people really see in his music. And he's also just a streaming juggernaut. You know, he's the most streamed artist again last year, beating out everybody. So
let's talk about the NFL, because the NFL has very much stood by Bad Bunny after conservative Republicans, including the Trump administration, blasted the choice to use Bad Bunny for this Super Bowl halftime. But NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell could not be budged from his position. Take a listen to what he said.
Bad Bunny is, and I think that was demonstrated last night, one of the great artists in the world. And that's one of the reasons we chose him. But the other reason is he understood the platform he was on, and that this platform is used to unite people and to be able to bring people together.
So it wasn't just the business angle here. Listening to him speak here, it definitely looks like he was trying to kind of prove a point here. Let's just say this immediately. Puerto Ricans are American. I'm not really, I'm not going to get into the argument that they're not specifically. But just understand this here. Like, it's a little bit like, you're doing this on purpose, right? You're talking about unity and all these other things here. It would be great. Absolutely. But, there was definitely another angle, pretty much more so than the business angle of things here. But again, if you can kind of pull in an artist that is one of the largest streaming artists on this planet here, that makes sense. But now you adding all of the, the behind the scenes political stuff's a little bit weird.
To be able to bring people together.
I can imagine how you'll set people off.
Talents, and to be able to use this moment to do that. And I think artists in the past have done that. I think Bad Bunny understands that.
You're not wrong.
I mean, people try to say politics and sports don't mix.
They don't? I don't think.
They have always mixed. There has always been a mix there. And I feel like we just sort of pretend that they don't mix, because some of the words that are in Bad Bunny's songs are very political.
Yeah.
Examples.
I mean, Bad Bunny has been political, and I think when the announcement was made, there was a lot of things about his beliefs that he said in the past. You know, he has been outspoken about ICE and not agreeing with the way that the Trump administration has handled a lot of immigrant rhetoric and ICE.
Yeah, but understand how much of that specifically is his base, right? Like, his base of people are people who are a good amount of them coming from South America, Central America, Mexico, and other Spanish-speaking nations kind of within the region. A good amount of his base are the people who are breaking into the country. I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. Let's just sit here without the idea of adding any type of like an irrelevant blanket over the top of the argument here. Let's just be honest here with that. So, of course, kind of by default, he wants to maintain his business. Like, he knows his base. That's all that we're encountering right here, guys. He knows his base.
Deportations in this country. He's also been outspoken about the way they handled Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico in the past. He's been outspoken about trans issues.
That's fine.
One thing you've heard conservatives saying is that this choice is un-American also, because he's going to be speaking in Spanish. Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico. He is a citizen of the United States.
Yeah, that's where the argument kind of falls off immediately. If you do not want Puerto Rico to be a part of the United States of America, then let them have their own specific independence completely. We're not going to do that, though, right? That's a different argument for a different day, right? So you can't be upset that Bad Bunny, being one of the largest streaming artists on this planet, he just so happens to come from a place that legitimately speaks Spanish. You cannot be surprised. You can't have two, guys, right? So either you're going to allow him to do this here, completely fine, or make the push to allow, Puerto Rico to basically be Puerto Rico, right? But either way.
And the halftime show has never really been about American performers. You've had Paul McCartney, you've had The Weeknd. So now you have a Puerto Rican artist who is, the biggest on the planet. It makes a lot of sense that the NFL is going to stand by him. Commercially, he makes a lot of sense. He is
it does commercially.
Decision. We know that Bad Bunny brings in viewers and listeners, and there's a whole lot of people that are going to be watching.
It's going to be huge. Julissa Lopez, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Okay. I think we're good here. I don't really think I need to see any more of that. Listen. Coming from the NFL standpoint, I fully grasp the idea of utilizing him for the sole purpose of, bringing brand new people into the room, into the conversation. Let's just say this here. That's cool. No complaints here. You also now get to sell more product because, again, the more people that are watching the Super Bowl, right, get to see the ads. You get what I mean? That's fine. I'm not angry at that at all. But of course, there's like a political aspect of it because, again, he basically points it out here. But I also don't understand the people at all that do not say that Puerto Ricans are not American. I don't understand that at all. Because if you don't want them to be American, then let them have their own independence. I think that's kind of where we need to be. Like allow them to kind of do their own thing. That's kind of where I'm at on that one there. If you don't want them there, you know, but you can't have both. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.